Shalom, Akim Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, HaKadosh. I want to give honor and glory to the man of the Lord that teaches on these highways and byways, and double honor to the apostles and elders for teaching this truth. Shalom to the hopefully elect of Israelites that's doing their best to doing their best to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments the best of their abilities. Shalom. I just want to go over the recent events that has been going on around Russia, the U.S., and Iran about the not only the terrorists but also the bombing that Trump was going to send because of Iran's development of trying to make nuclear bombs. And as we know, this was going to happen because this is what it talks about in the Bible. I was watching a video a couple of days ago, I think around 2 days ago, where it was talking on that concept, and I'll put the link of the video in the description. But it was talking about how the U.S. didn't wanted Iran to not make any further developments towards the nuke. So Trump decided that they were gonna send the B-12. Well, they're gonna send like B-12 bombers to bomb Iran because of it. And Russia said if they do that, they were gonna step in. And if Russia steps in, and in this video it also mentions if Russia steps in, this will not only build even more trust for Russia and Iran, but it could also make a bigger make more of an alliance between them, because they're already part of the BRICS association. But here's the article. I'm gonna read it right now before I go into scriptures. I think it's Mascro. Yeah, Mascro. Russia said on Thursday that the threats of a military strike against its ally Iran were unacceptable, and warned that attacking Islamic Republic could lead to a potential catastrophic results if nuclear installations were bombed. Nuclear installations were bombed. U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Iran on Sunday, with a bombing and second terrorists if Tehran, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Tehran did not come to agreement with Washington over its nuclear program. And the United States has moved additional warships into the region. And that's a problem. Well, really a good thing for us, but a problem for the U.S. because this is going to start uprising again with other nations. As it already said at the top that Russia was going to intervene if they decide to bomb any nuclear installations because they're allies. And furthermore, it says, asked about Iran's nuclear program and the dangers in the current situation, Russia Foreign Ministry said that Moscow was committed to finding solutions to Iran's nuclear program, which respected Tehran's rights to peaceful nuclear energy. This use of military force by Iran's opponents in the context of the settlement is illegal and unacceptable. Maria Zakharov, that's Russian, spokeswoman for the ministry, told reporters threats from outside to bomb Iran's nuclear infrastructure facilities will inevitably lead to hold on, revisable global catastrophe. So like it.
Irreversible.
Irreversible. Yeah. Irreversible global catastrophe. These threats are simply unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay. Now, before I continue reading on, let me get some scriptures that could help basically go on what is basically referring to. So I'm going to get Matthew 24, verse 6 through 7. Yeah. So this is where we basically at for right now. So Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumor of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Meaning that this is supposed to happen before Yahushua comes down from the chariot, comes to deliver us by raising up the chosen elect into the chariots. All this must happen. Verse 7: For the nation shall rise against nation. Nations for nations shall rise against nations, and kingdoms against kingdom, and that there shall be against kingdom. This is verse 7 is where it's speaking on how basically the U.S. is rising against Iran because they don't want them to make those nuclear bombs. The U.S. wants to keep Iran in a placement where they're not able to like threaten the U.S. their U.S. soil. But since Iran is with Russia, Russia's gonna eventually rise up if Trump does decide to bomb Iran's facilities. There you go. So let's continue on with the article. Western powers accuse Iran of having a
Clandestine.
Clandestine. What does that mean? Keep secret. Okay. So the Western powers accuse Iran of having a clandestine agenda to develop nuclear weapons capability by enriching uranium to a high level of fusional purity above what they say is justifiable for the civilian atomic energy program. And then it says T. Ryan, I say his name. Says the nuclear program is wholly for wholly for for civilian energy purposes. Russia and Iran signed a composition strategy. I think it's composition.
Comprehensive.
Comprehensive strategic partnership agreement in January, though there is no mutual defense clause under the agreement for one party's attack to the other will not help the aggressor. Will not help the aggressive. Yeah. But overall, it's still another leading to prophecy because this is supposed to happen and we want this to happen. Of course, we got to wait on that MLTV, but there's also progress on that. But this is a good sign that we're in the end times because that was 2 days ago. I go up to the article, it says Russia says U.S. is threatening a military strike against Iran are unacceptable, and it says 2 days ago. And the video I watched was also 2 days ago. This is very good for us because we need stuff like this to happen to not only show that that the end times is right here in our faces, but to also to build up our faith. Because each time I see an article or watch a video on a topic that leads to the end times, it boosts up my spirit, and I feel joy. Not only joy, but I also feel fear. But I feel more joy because I know we're gonna get out of here, and at any point in time. And let's see. Let's go to yeah. Oh. Yeah, okay. This is Jeremiah 51 verse 7, and it says, yeah, I read it in the KJV. I was trying to decide if I wanted to read it in MLT. But in the KJV, Babylon have been a gold cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore, the nations are mad. And see, the nations are mad. And who's mad? Russia, Iran, and also many of the BRICS members. Not all. Brazil is not mad, but they are going to be mad. But as I'm reading the article, that's what it is turning to. They're not liking what Trump is doing. Putin's not liking that Trump's gonna bomb Iran, and Iran is definitely not liking to getting bombed for something they say they're not gonna use it. What they say they're only using it for, but we all know what they're actually gonna end up being put in the spirit to use that for against Babylon. But the nations are mad. And this is very true because ever since Trump got into office in 2025, or yeah, 2025, and ever since he got in office, all he's been doing was putting out executive orders back to back to back. And there's a few other hidden executive orders that people don't even know about. But I'll talk about that in a different lesson. But right now, it's more about the rumors of wars. Also, I think. Anyway, but this is a root. But Trump has been on that mindset that he can basically do almost whatever he wants. He been doing and saying that wherever he does, he's gonna make America great again. I think he's trying to make Canada the 51st state, I believe. Doesn't really have anything to do with it, but that, I mean, that's also going into it because of the Canadians, the people of Canada, they ain't too happy about that. But if it happens, it's most likely not gonna happen. But if it does happen, they're most likely gonna rebel. Let me see. Actually, let me go. Yeah, I get Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 11. Yeah. I read it in the NLT. Sharpen the arrows, lift up the shields, for the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Shai has inspired the kings of the Medes to march against Babylon and destroy her. This is his vengeance against those who desecrated his temple. Nice. Yeah. But who's the temple as today is the Israelites, because we are preaching on the highways and byways, and because we don't have a physical temple as of right now, but we are building it spiritually to communicate to Yahweh through Yahweh Shai. But with all these events, it is the other kingdoms are gonna rise against Babylon. I'm gonna give probably one more because I don't wanna overstep anything. Still trying to get used to this, but yeah, get Peter 10. Okay, this is 2 Peter verse 3. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Shai will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with what is that? Fervent, yeah, fervent heat, I believe. Yeah, fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall burn up. Take down, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. What manner of persons out ye to be in all holy conversations of godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh by Shem Shai, wherein the heavens being on fire shall dissolve, and the element shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise, look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness. See? I mean, this is talking about the continuation of destruction of Babylon, where it's gonna happen. I don't know if but yeah, the destruction of Babylon. I'm trying to make sure if I got. No, I think I did. Hold on. But the destruction of Babylon, because we gotta remember. Let me get it real quick. Because remember, when it says new heavens, it just means a new kingdom. That's not what I meant to do. Good. I think that's Iranos.
Strong's G 3772, Uranas. Uranas.
That's Unaras. But this is yeah. Alright. I'm trying to see if I can see it, because that's what it's supposed to mean. It's supposed to mean heaven. This is a region above the heavens. I don't. I probably have to get it in a different placement, but it's supposed to say heaven. I don't know if I got it, but anyway, like I was saying, because the destruction of this heaven, this kingdom, is gonna bring out a new heaven for the Israelites, for the chosen elect of the 144,000 to rule. But we need to hear about these rumors of wars and these other prophecies that needs to come to pass before that happens. So let me try and get the Let me see if I can find it. If not, then it's cool. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing it right now. I do remember in the camp they were talking about it, so yeah, I'm not really finding it, so that's good. But also, let's get Revelation 18 verse 10. So I'm going to read in NLT. They will stand at a distance, terrified by her great terror or torment. They will cry out, how terrible for you, O Babylon, you great city. In a single moment, Yahweh's judgment come on you. The merchants of the world will weep and mourn for there is no one left to buy their goods. Yeah, that's not there. But yeah, so yeah, no one left to buy their good. Really, the main point's at verse 10 because of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai's judgment coming against Babylon, and that's what's going to lead into by hearing these rumors of wars, and that's why we should be glad and enjoy, or also fear in Yahweh by Shem Yahshua, but also with gladness that we're hearing these things because these are good news. These are the good news. Ooh. Let's get about the good news. I might not do it. Probably just gonna get it. Yeah, I was gonna get it, but this is good news. But I'll just end it off here. Just trying to take it slow and steady, and not try to overdo it on my end. But with that, I'm gonna give honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushai by Hashem Hakadash. And I want to give honor and glory to the man of the Lord that be preaching this truth and teaching this truth, and so to the hopeful elect in this truth. I hope this lesson was edifying. On to the next. Shalom.